before you have a kid, you gotta ask yourself a couple questions. Because I have noticed, being a child-free woman, that most of y'all having kids for very selfish reasons. Golly, can you get more selfish than bringing somebody in here just to make you happy? Can you get more selfish because you want a mini-me running around? Can you get more selfish, you just want somebody to hand you the remote control? Because I feel as though that I always get the question, why don't you want kids? Why don't you ask the people who have kids, why do you want them? Why do you have kids in the first place? Most people can't even answer this question. It's because this wasn't a well thought out decision. Having a child is a truly huge responsibility that most people are not equipped to truly guiding another spirit into this dimension full forcefully. We all have childhood traumas. Like, we are all going through it. So the fact of the matter is that you are adding more trauma, more hardship, and more pain on this poor spirit just to fulfill your happiness is quite frankly appalling. I'm appalled. I'm appalled. And I'm an advocate for the kids because the kids can't even speak up to the parents because the parents are sometimes in so much delusion, superiority, and feeling like they are in control, they have authority because they was here just a couple years longer than this little spirit. This spirit knows a lot, can teach you a few things if you allow yourself to listen and not trying to prove your point to be right. Because eventually this child is gonna realize that mommy and daddy is screwed up. They really don't know what's best for me. They really don't know themselves. They're really underdeveloped. Because the kid's gonna realize this eventually. So you can put on a front while they're crawling around and running around, but when they start to grow up and get older and get a sense of themselves, they gonna realize what parent was at fault and what parent wasn't truly equipped for this lifestyle that they perceive themselves to be. So we have to ask these severe questions. Why are you bringing a child in this world, especially out of wedlock? Why are you bringing in this child? Just to fulfill your happiness? To fulfill your legacy? To fulfill some type of childhood trauma that you have not healed? You're bringing this child into this world because you're trying to compete with your childhood? Let me tell you this. Once you heal your own childhood wounds, once you parent yourself, once you mother yourself, once you father yourself, you are going to think twice about just recklessly bringing someone else up in here when you already don't even like being here. What type of sense does this make? What type of sense does this make? You already complaining about being here. Now you thinking, let me add more company to this misery. Thinking that's a good idea. People are thinking it's a good idea to add more people to this party. Unfortunately, we're full. If you cared about Mother Earth, you will realize, unfortunately, we're full. And you already know they're trying to take us up top with everything that's going on. We in 2021. Just click on any article, you see they got GMOs in our food. They trying to take us up top if we don't do what they say. People walking around not even breathing because they're suffocating themselves by wearing masks. Like, do you see the route of this life is going, and you thinking adding someone in this is a good idea to your misery? It does not solve any equation. I realize that most people have kids because they feel like this is going to bring them happiness. If you don't make your damn self happy, okay? If you don't make yourself happy before thinking that you gotta add somebody else up in here because you bored, what type of sense does this make, y'all? Because you bored, you thinking, okay, let me just girls, get you a plant. Get you a dog. Like, but no, they want to experiment by having a whole human when they haven't even developed themselves yet. Yes, I'm going in because we have to really dissect what is going on. We have to really dissect the agenda behind pushing out all of these kids when your mental is not stable, when you are mentally not equipped or healed or whole. So unfortunately, I get this question, why I don't want kids, instead of asking the people, why do you have kids? I always go in and ask the parents when they try to reverse it on me, well, you can't really talk because you're not a parent. But I've been a kid, so I'm speaking for the kids. I'm an advocate for the kids, and realizing that we must protect our kids and not bring them in trauma, not bring them in hardship because mommy and daddy did not take the time to heal themselves, because mommy and daddy want to compete with their childhood and they didn't take the time to parent themselves. So how can they parent me fully? How can they? I just hear so many stories how people are so traumatized due to their childhood because they didn't get that attention, they didn't get that love, they didn't get that protection to make them feel safe as a child. It hurts me. It hurts my soul. And I'm just like, you can't get this parenting life right, but dang, can you at least make sure that mommy and daddy is at least in love, together, stable, for this spirit to come, and not bringing someone in because of your ego, because you just had sex and it's a oopsies and you haven't really thought this through. You're not just having a baby, you're going to have an adult, okay? This child has to grow up and be an adult. So we tend to think like, oh, I'm just gonna have this kid until they 18 and then I'm gonna ship them away to an institution. And I'm just like, people don't even want to not alone raise them, they don't even want to teach their kids. They want to ship them off to an institution that's not even going to tell you about your heritage, about your culture, about yourself, about personal development, your mental, your heart. They just want to ship them off so they can just get rid of them, so they can have their time, so they can work. This is nothing to play with. We are playing with these kids' life and our next generation because we are not taking the time to study them, to acknowledge them, to show that they are seen, heard, and loved. They really just want your presence here at the end of the day, not your selfish behavior because you just brought me in this world because you had sex and you just really wanted to keep a man. Yeah, I said that. It's so much elements that goes on when bringing a kid into this world. I don't think we should play about this. I think we should start asking these severe questions you have to ask yourself before you think about having kids. Why am I gonna have a kid? What is this gonna do for my life? Am I just doing it because I'm thinking I just have to check this off my list? Am I doing it because I genuinely want to help better the next generation? Because if you want to do that, you can adopt. It's so many kids that don't have parents because their parents are so irresponsible and these underdeveloped humans. So if you really want to be a genuine cool human being, go down and adopt. Or if you want to be selfish because you want to have a mini me, because you want somebody to look like you want to have some type of love from the other unconditionally, when you can give it all to yourself, when you can give it all to yourself, you can give that love to yourself. But we have to ask these questions. Oh, I'm gonna have a kid because I want them to be my legacy. Don't put that on nobody. You need to man up, woman up, and pull up your pants and do what you were called to do. Oh, I want to have a kid because I want somebody to take care of me when I'm older. You probably not even treating your kids right now. They gonna ship you off to a nursing home because you're not even respecting them, loving them now. Ain't that selfish that we have the audacity to feel as though kids have to take care of the parents when they get older? You have to realize we did not choose to be here. Like, you called me in your life because you knew I was going to help you. I didn't call you and knock on your door and ask you. We are bringing these kids without their consent. We are bringing kids up in here without their consent. They didn't ask to be here. They don't even want to be here. You don't even want to be here. So why do you think somebody else going to want to be here? To help your misery out. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. So we have to really reevaluate ourselves, really question why are we doing certain things just because of society, because it's truly a trap. It's a huge capital trap. Parents are the #1 consumers. And the way to really hop out the matrix, is to stop consuming. You feel me? But you consume because of the unworthiness that you have within yourself. You feel like you need this, you need that, you need this, you need that to feel some type of value. So some type of completeness. But once we get really complete within ourselves and whole and in love, we're not going to think that we're missing out on anything. We're going to cherish the children that are already here and love them. We don't necessarily need one to come out of us in order to love them. We can truly love everyone because we took the time to love ourselves. And that's power in that. It's so many children that need your love. We can't neglect that. And we can't look past that because we all are trying to figure this out. It's no best way to do this life. We can't just read off a handbook that they told us in movies that we have to get married, have kids, and have this white picket fence to be successful. Feed a kid today. Hug a kid today. The one that's already here, instead of feeling like, oh, I need my own in order to love them. That's not true love. That's not true love. Shame on you. I love you so much. Hit that subscribe for me, my child free family, because we got a lot to talk about.